Thank you, Reed. Now, today is the start of the 37th annual Capitol Quilt Show, and joining me now in studio is Ellen Ryder, who is the senior curator. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Nice to join you.
Midday. Now, this year's theme is Autumn Reverie. So, how did you guys come up with that? What's the thought behind that name?
Actually, the Quilters Unlimited of Tallahassee, who works with us every year, they come up with their own theme, and it's used to create a challenge with the quilters, and they participate in it. This year, they wanted something that reminded them of fall, but also allowed them to kind of daydream about fall in the same respect.
Now, I know it hasn't quite felt like fall out here,
No.
the temperature-wise in a little bit, but how did you kind of get into quilting yourself? What kind of drew your interest into this?
I first started quilting stuff at the Museum of Florida History. I was assigned the show, and I really got to learn more and more about the quilts and how fascinating it is and how much work the quilters put into it. It's not a weekend thing. You really have to spend hours and hours doing tedious things and making sure all things look great.
Now, this year, you guys are going to feature 95 different quilts. So what's the process to getting one of your quilts in this show?
You have to be a member of Quilters Unlimited Tallahassee. From there, you can enter when it's time to enter your quilt and just tell them what the category is and make sure you get it in before the deadline.
Now, you mentioned some of the categories. What kind of categories are kind of included within these 95 quilts?
As I mentioned before, there's a challenge quilt section which is based on the Autumn Reverie theme. We also have bed quilts, child's quilts, wall quilts, lap quilts, and many others.
Now, where do you kind of get your own inspiration for when you're sitting down and trying to make a quilt? So where does that kind of inspiration kind of come from?
Personally, I don't actually make quilts,
Really?
but
Okay.
talking with the quilters, they look from their memories. They look at stuff online that inspires them. We have a lot of great ones that are dedicated to family members, and also they just are very artistic people.
Now, there's also a chance for some of our viewers to get a chance to maybe take one of these quilts home. So could you explain what they need to do in order to be able to do that?
You need to visit our museum at 500 South Bruno Street. We have free parking. And go visit the quilt show. There'll be some quilters there who can help you out, and you can buy a raffle ticket for the Opportunity Quilt this year, which is also entitled Autumn Reverie.
All right, let's check out some of the information we've got for this year. It's going to be the 37th annual quilt show. Starts today and it runs through November the 3rd. It's going to be at the Museum of Florida History, right in the R.A. Gray building. Absolutely free to check out, and for more information, you can make sure to visit the Museum of Florida History.com. We'll post this information on our website. That's WTXL.TV. We'll have much more of Midday coming up right after this short break.